What made you quit a job on the spot? I was working at a high-end jewelry store when my grandmother died, and my boss refused to let me attend her funeral. Despite his strictness, I respected his work ethic and learned a lot from him. My grandmother raised me after my parents died in a car accident when I was 8. She was my rock and the only family I had. Diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, doctors gave her 6 months, but she fought for 18. I had informed Richard of her illness, sometimes leaving early for hospital visits. He seemed sympathetic, always asking after her condition, though he quickly followed up with questions about my sales. On Tuesday morning, I received the dreaded call. My grandmother passed in her sleep. I sat in my car in the lot, crying for 20 minutes before composing myself and walking into work. When I arrived, Richard was at the counter reviewing inventory sheets. I approached him with red, swollen eyes and explained what had happened. I told him the funeral was scheduled for Friday, and I would need the day off. Richard looked up from his paperwork with a frown. "I'm sorry about your grandmother, but Friday is impossible. We have the quarterly sale starting, and I need all hands on deck." I stared at him in disbelief. "Richard, this is my grandmother's funeral. I have to be there." He sighed heavily, as if I were being unreasonable. "Look, everyone has family emergencies, but the store comes first. We're expecting to do $30,000 in sales on Friday alone. I've already scheduled you for a double shift." My hands began to shake. "This isn't an emergency I can reschedule. It's her funeral. She raised me. I have to be there." Richard's expression hardened. "If you miss your shift on Friday, don't bother coming back on Monday. I've been lenient with all your hospital visits these past months. The company needs reliable employees." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Lenient? I've never missed a sales goal. I covered Christmas Eve when your daughter had her baby. I worked through the flu last winter because we were short-staffed. Richard waved his hand dismissively. "That's the job. Everyone makes sacrifices. Your grandmother is already gone. Missing the funeral won't change that. She wouldn't want you jeopardizing your career." Something broke inside me. This man had taken my dedication for granted and now had the audacity to decide what my grandmother would want. I looked around the store, the gleaming display cases I polished every morning, the sales floor I paced countless times, the register where I processed millions in transactions. None of it mattered. "You know what, Richard? You're right about one thing. My grandmother wouldn't want me to jeopardize my career, but she also taught me that no job is worth sacrificing your self-respect." I reached for my name tag and placed it on the counter. "I quit." Richard's face flushed red. "Don't be dramatic. You're throwing away 3 years over one day." I grabbed my purse from under the counter. "No, I'm choosing to honor the woman who raised me over a job that sees me as replaceable. And for the record, you'll be missing a lot more than $30,000 in sales once I call the regional manager about those inventory discrepancies you've been hiding." His face went pale. I had discovered months ago that Richard had been falsifying inventory reports to cover merchandise he took home, and I had kept quiet, accepting his explanation about borrowing items for his wife. As I walked toward the door, Richard called after me, "Wait, maybe we can work something out for Friday." I didn't look back. I attended my grandmother's funeral, surrounded by people who truly cared about her and me. 2 weeks later, I received a call from the regional manager offering me Richard's position. Apparently, an audit had been conducted after my departure. I declined. Instead, I used my grandmother's small inheritance to open my own boutique jewelry store, where we close for employees' important life events. No questions asked.